Yo, good morning. It's your boy Mike Nice the Barber. We are out here once again with the morning check-in. I'm your host, Mike Nice the Barber. Um, yeah, if you're not checking it out a little later and you're not seeing this like right now, it's 8:15. And you see it a little later, just type yo in the comment box just to let me know you tapped in so I can see who tapped in. Good morning, good morning. Yo, Pop, good morning. Yo, we out here, man. Share it, like it. As soon as you tap in, you see that blue box that says share it. Because we got like a lot of great information, a lot of good talks in the morning, positive influence, all that. Clarity, all things that you think about that you don't talk about, we talk about it. We talk about it. 100%. It's Monday. What's good? It's gonna be a hot one today in Atlanta. 83 degrees yesterday, nice and hot, but it had a little breeze. So it was good. Feeling good, man. I'm feeling good, feeling real positive. Pop, I got back to it this morning. I got back to it. I got back to working out, man, getting started. I Hewitt, Nef- Nefertari. You should tap in. Tap in. You should tap in. Hewitt. Neffy. Tap in. Um, what's on your mind? That's why I want you to tap in. What's going on with you? Tap in. What everybody talking about? Tap in. Yeah, Pop, I started the week off right. Well, yesterday I worked out with my son. I always talk about my son. He's 8. And he wants to be a basketball player so bad. So, I'm always on him. We working out real hard. And you know what I decided? I said, you know what? I'm going to work out with him. And I'm going to get in better shape. Not just lifting weights and stuff like that, but I'm gonna get in basketball. I'm gonna get in I'm gonna get in basketball shape, right? Because we play on Sundays and we started last Sunday, but I can't go every single Sunday, but I gotta get in shape for those guys because I just like stunk it up last time. I stunk it up, man. Stunk it all the way up, and I can't do that. Lil, good morning. Oh, it's afternoon there. Ah, that's good. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. Where are you?
Where am I?
Yeah. What state? What country?
London.
You're in London. I'm in Atlanta, in the U.S.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Just talking about it's the morning check-in. I do my morning show in the morning, so you just tapped in.
What time is it for you?
8:17 a.m. 8:17 a.m.
Everyone in England is sick at the moment.
Oh, London. A lot of people from London tap into the check-in. Well, they tap in with me, and just to see what's going on. But I started off right this morning, working out. Hey, and I ate, good morning. I ate yogurt this morning, right? And I'm not really big on eating yogurt, right? But it's supposed to be like a um, good for your stomach. Yo, Rock, it's supposed to be good for your stomach. Put some granola and some fruit in it. And I knocked it out, but I started working out with my son so I could get in shape for these guys. Let's get in shape, right? Um, and it's really important. It's really important to have that mindset, right? It's really important to have that mindset of I had to tell myself, yes, let's get in shape. And I gotta be an example for him. And it's gonna help me too. So anytime we miss a layup, 5 push-ups, like stuff like that. And it's working. It's working. I mean, yesterday was good, so I feel back. I feel better that I'm back. I usually get on at 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. I used to get on and just, rock for 10 minutes on the way to the gym, but I haven't been doing it because I've been busy with this and these other platforms. I can't do it. So now I mean, I'm ready, man. My mind is back set right. I started getting a little stomach. I said, nah, we're not doing that no more. We working. We working hard. Let's do it. So anything you got going on, let me know. Let's talk about it. Whatever y'all got, let's talk about it. I got a bunch of stuff now. It's not like I don't. I have a bunch of stuff. Last week, well, let's talk about people getting in their feelings and emotions, right? Right? That's cool. You get into your emotions, right? Sometimes people can say things and get you off track, right? Some people can, yo, what's up? Some people can say things and get you off track with with triggers, emotional triggers, right? They could say one thing and it could take you off balance. And we got to get control of that. We got to get control of that balance. Um, so we joke around a lot. The fellas, like on the Checkin on Instagram, the guys on Instagram, we joke around a lot and we have a lot of fun. But sometimes you don't know when people are joking and taking shots, and you got to be able to do that, especially coming from the barbershop. Barbershop is rough. Dudes will tell you anything and say anything about you and test your emotional meter, right? They'll test that, and you got to get control of that. Hmm? You got to get control of that. Literally, did I follow you? Followed you just now. Um, they gotta get control of. You have to be able to control that meter because that. So the other day, L got on and L was like, "Yo, you wrong. First of all, you wrong, Mike." And I kind of took it like, "Yo, like, are we being serious on? But we playing around?" And he starts getting into his, long-winded rant. He does. He always does that. And sometimes he goes off point, but it's okay. And I was just thinking about it overnight. I had to take a breath and think about it because it bothered me because like, when we getting into speaking on things that are real serious, sometimes you take things where you shouldn't take it. You shouldn't. You start thinking about it wrong, and you shouldn't. So I'm not I'm bad. I'm it's getting to know people. That's the thing with me. I had to get to know the person if they good morning if they speaking on something so it won't get you all bent out of shape. And you got to really be calm. You got to be calm when it comes to your emotions. Like you got to be calm and think and don't react. That's the thing. It's about not reacting to these things. Like especially on social media, sometimes you'll look at something because social media is like TV. Like it's you just channel surfing, and it can trigger an emotion out of you. So how do we? I'm asking y'all now. How do we deal with that? Like, how do you deal with that? Another client of mine, we got into it. We didn't get into it, but Saturday we were speaking about relationships, right? And it was a couples therapy that I was looking at, right? I was looking at couples therapy, and the couples therapy, the woman was the one that had a lot of the issues, like personal trauma she had, like old trauma. She had stuff like that going on, and the husband was kind of chill, calm. He everybody have their ways, right? He has his ways, right? Everybody got their ways and where they do things um, that you don't necessarily agree with. right? Let's say that. So I was talking to my client. We was talking about it, and he says, "Well, the guy wanted to have it get into couples therapy, to help their relationship." And we was just saying like I was saying like the woman was the one that had the more of an issue. He goes, "Well, if he has an issue with her, who's the one that really needs therapy, him or her?" Like he has a way of changing things around. Like if you, it's so much, it's a lot, man. But anyway, he was. I guess I was triggering emotions in him, and he was triggering the emotions in me too because he kept cutting me off while I was talking, cut me off, cut me off, cut me off. And I'm like, yo, dude, I had to stop him and say, yo, you are defending things that you don't need to defend. Like you want to have an argument. I'm not trying to have an argument. Just like on here, the check-in, we're just trying to get clarity and build. Like I'm trying to get an understanding of where you come from, and you get to understand where I'm coming from. Period. That's it. We can agree to disagree, or we can just keep building, and that's how it works. So it's kind of hard to not. It's hard. It's not hard. It's hard not to get into your emotions. And I'm gonna type this in. I'm gonna type this in here. Um, I'm gonna type this in. How to how do you get a hold on your emotions? How do you do that? It's a good question. How do you get control of your emotions? It's a good question. Good morning. Please leave a comment. How do you get control of your emotions without getting all in your feelings and just have an understanding? I tell you one way, take a lot of deep breaths and sitting and not wanting to respond so fast, right? Sitting still. That's what it takes. Good morning, y'all. Let's go. This is positive vibes and clarity. That's what we get. Good information. Let's go, man. Good morning. I don't know who's tapped in. I want to say, give you a shout out. Ivy, Pamela. I like to shout people out. Ivy, yeah. What's up? Um, so how do you get control of your emotions? Like, and this is a big deal for women because women really come from the heart and an emotional place, right? So it's not a shot. That's just how women are wired. Um, how do you get control of that stuff? It's just hard. It's not easy. And people always say, "Oh, you can't just let people run your life, or they control you like a puppet." Yeah, that's true, but nah, kid, how you get control of that? It's hard. Yo, good morning. So when something like that happened to me, I call other people and talk about the situation when I get to a point where I'm in my feelings about something. I call somebody that I think that has a good opinion and say, "Yo, am I bugging out? Because this and this happened." And my dude told me, he's like, "Yo, you need a few days, man, to get out your emotions and think about it." And then after I talked to a few people about it, I got some answers because again, like I always say, you'll get trapped in your head. You'll get caught up in what you're thinking and not think rationally, right? you'll get caught up in what you're thinking, and you won't have. It's not that it's being irrational, right? It just recognize your subconscious mind is being stimulated to produce hormones, which is the same as drugs. You gotta say a little bit more on that. L, good morning. You know, I'm talking about L. How do we control our emotions? You know, when somebody says something to you, you know, how do you go without reacting first? I mean, how do you? You know, you're not supposed to react first, right? But how do you go without doing that? That's the question. You know what I'm saying? You just want to take some breaths and think. You might, and then depending on what was said, you might need to go the opposite. You might need to just take a few days off and think about it. For me, I'll talk to somebody about it. You know what I'm saying? Like my boy L is going to get on in a second, and he he might bring some clarity. He might say, "Hey, how about trying this?" Or the person said this to you, maybe because of this. So that's what I was saying. You'll get caught up in your own thoughts, but you need. This is why I always say you need people to bounce these things off with. You know what I'm saying? To kind of a get a different view on things, right? That's what you want to do sometimes. So emotions, man, how do you deal with that, and how do you able to fight it and get it and be able to move forward? How do you do that? That's a big question. Yo,
Morning.
morning.
So,
What's good?
amen. Um, so I just caught the tidbit on what you were talking about, but you were talking about like walking away in certain situations.
Um, Not just walking away, but just dealing with it. Like, what if you can't? What if ain't nowhere to go? You know what I'm saying? How do you just deal with practice controlling your emotions, right? But how do you practice controlling your emotions when somebody says something to trigger you? It triggers an emotion. It ain't that easy to just walk away without saying something. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. That's kind of tough.
True. I mean, in most situations, I think that like for me, one of the things that I do in preparing for my day is put that thought in the front of my mind and realizing like the consequences, what um a bad decision or a bad choice would land. I think that my best advice for anyone who faces with a situation like that is to remember, like sometimes we give people too much credit, we give them too much value in what they saying to us, right?
Right.
And if you look at it like not to discredit anyone or make them less valuable as a person, however, they're less valuable in your life. You could, a person say whatever, you know, it's I used to say this when I was locked up. There's 5 things that can be said in prison that automatically lead to a fight or somebody getting like seriously hurt. Right? 5 things. You can call a person and say to a person, and it's like it's automatic. And that comes from this expectation of how you're supposed to respond in situations where you're confronted with stuff and things like that. I don't want to go into it because they like, it can be considered disrespectful, but you have to ask yourself, this person that's saying this to me, one, um, they could be saying it because a lot of times people are angry. They're angry with their self. They're angry with their own situation or something that they're going through at the time, and then so they project that out.
Take it out on you.
Yeah, and so they had this show on the Science Channel, Brain Games, where they showed somebody like going in, and then they said, now look at this same situation. And they gave you some background on the situation. That person lost their daughter, or they went through something prior to them that interaction with you, and you felt differently and how you respond to that. Like we all go through things in life. Sometimes you have to address certain things when you're in certain situations, like in a workspace or in a relationship or whatever the case may be. So it doesn't continue. But for the most part, if it's just a one-off, it's just something you and that particular person's happen to be in the same space at the same time, and chances are I'm never going to see this person no more. The best thing to do is just walk away. And like, well, you know what? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but so yeah, I dig that, right? But somebody and they say something to you, and you are inclined to say something back when they say something to trigger an emotion out of you, it's hard to recognize you're being triggered, attack the trigger, take your individual power to react back. Right, but how do you do that? You can't just we can say that all day, yo. We can say, yo, just control yourself and all that. But it takes a lot of breathing, a lot of thinking, and a lot of not to go straight, go at it.
You know what behavior rehearsal is?
No.
So, in psychology, is it psychology? Yeah, psychology. This behavior rehearsal is this: you play out any scenario in your mind, and then you go through how would you respond to that situation, right? So what we're doing right now is kind of like behavior rehearsal.
Right.
So you pose a particular situation, and you're saying, how do you do that? So now you have all of these people saying, well, you do it this way, you do it that way, you do it this way. And you prepare yourself like as because we know what we walking out when we leave our houses every day. We know what we walking out into the world. So, but there's an element of things that we don't know. Like there's the element of surprise, but sometimes you can't always be in full control, right? That's just the reality. Depending on where you at emotionally and mentally, will pretty much determine can or be deciding factor on how you respond to certain things.
That's true. That's true.
If you wake up in a good mood, or you're not, you're feeling good today. You got your workout on. Everything went right yesterday, and then so here's a negative situation that you good morning that you encounter throughout your day. It'll be totally different if you woke up in a bad mood because yesterday was a bad day, right? So, right now in this particular time, I'm very, very, very conscious of that because my mother just got diagnosed with colon cancer like 2 weeks ago. So I was dealing with that. But I'm conscious of, like I tell everyone around me, I constantly remind people, like,
Steve,
be mindful. Try not to put me in a situation where I would, it's not healthy for me. Right, be as conscious of that as me. I know that everybody won't, they can't fully grasp what I'm saying, but just to say that, I know that, so here's what I do right now.
Well,
like I feel internally when I'm getting upset. I'm getting to that point, I walk away. Like I literally, like I'm at work right now. If I get to that point where I feel like I'm about to blank, I'm about to spaz out, I'll just like literally go grab my coat and walk out.
Right. But I mean, that's a way to deal with it. I read this book called Emotional Intelligence once a month to help me with my responses, opposed to upsetting myself. Now, also too, you got to remember, like me, right? I think I'm real calm, right? I think I'm even kill, but sometimes I could be like the other day when you was like, first of all, Mike, you wrong. I was like, this nigga. Right away, like, what are you talking about? And then I had to think about. I really had to take a day. I had to take a day to think about that. Like, yo, what is going on? Like that. But then I also had to understand that we play around a lot, and we just mess around. And I don't have a problem with being wrong. It's just that if you're gonna challenge me, let's go. That's a battle of the minds. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say. So it like take me off guard a little bit because we're gonna reminisce from the day before and the day before that, so we be messing around. So I had to think about it. And then like, yo, am I bugging out? Let me stop bugging. You know what I'm saying? Overthinking. You know what I'm saying? So admittedly, I could do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of, how do we control our emotions? And some people not in a place, like I said, I'm even killed. Some people not in a place where they always anything trigger them because they think they're being attacked all the time. Like I know plenty of people like that. And those people are kind of like narcissistic people. You know what I'm saying? They'll really, that word is going around, narcissism. And they'll just think anything you say to them is attacking them, like Kev.
But that's a result a lot of times of undiagnosed trauma, PTSD. Like they always in a state of fight or flight. And unfortunately, the things that they take in is automatically, it's more internal. It's more of a
battle,
internal battle that they're having. That anything and everything is an attack when it's not.
Right.
Most times it's not, and they just in a place where they aren't able to recognize that or respond correctly to it or receive certain things without it feeling like it's an attack.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that's really they really caught up in their own world too. You gotta watch those people. It's a lot, man, but you gotta take a lot of deep breath. And you know what I did too? I used to argue a lot in the shop with the guys, like over stupid stuff. And then one day I said, you know what? I'm just not gonna do that no more. I'm gonna let them, like one of my dudes, he really like and he started yelling and getting crazy and just starts calling you all type of idiots and all that, and you just be getting crazy. And I said, yo, you know what? One day I took a deep breath. I said, yo, you know what? I can't let you do this. I said it to him, like, I ain't gonna do this with you. Cause you just going nowhere fast. Like we not even building nothing. You just doing this because when you wrong, you just gotta keep arguing. You're not even trying to find a solution or come to a place. But I know a lot of it is, like you said, is deeply rooted. LAL is deeply rooted to how you were raised, what you were raised around, and watching the people that are older you react to certain things. That's why dad is really important in the house. Because I watched my father I watched him walk away a lot from my mother and shit. I watched him do it like what dudes do. They'd be like, yo, I ain't fighting this one today. Can't fight every battle. You know what I'm saying? That's how I go. Prince, what's up? Good morning.
Mr. Matt.
Minister Matt. Good morning. So we got that, man. Emotions. How do you deal with your emotions? Yo, good morning. Leave a comment, please. We are on Facebook. We are on the Checkin. And today is the L show. What's going on? We are working. LAL. I was talking to Kaz, right? And Kaz is Kaz is a good dude. Kaz is a good dude. Listen. That dude will hit you. His messages are long. They're gonna leave you a voice message that 3 minutes. That's my man, because he's staying down and he's showing love. He's not you know what I'm saying? He's intentional with his stuff. And you gotta love that, man. Prince, good morning. Looks like rain. I mean, Minister Matt, good morning. I gotta keep saying that. Prince. I ain't saying Prince no more. You Minister Matt. Sorry.
All right, Mixie Mike. What's good?
I love it. That's good. I love it. It was good.
What y'all was talking about? I missed.
Talking about emotions, how to deal with, how not to get triggered and get into your emotions. You know what I'm saying? How to control it. Because it builds up anxiety. It builds up anxiety when you want to say something back to somebody and you don't want to argue, but you kind of do want to argue.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? But if it's on the road to nowhere, after a big fight, you are emotionally overworked. Real love, you're emotionally overworked. And who wants to do that? Who wants to be in that place? Like, you are exhausted after that big fight. And sometimes there's no need. Sometimes there's no need for that. Sometimes there's no need for getting all messed up. Good morning, sis.
And it's like Prince, when we, like, coming out of the penitentiary, we're hypersensitive to certain things, and to the outside world, we are very reactive to things, like immediately. You think what I'm saying? And I had to explain to people, like, when you're in a place where some people are physically in a place where they're in a constant state of fight or flight because of just their environment, and then some people are mentally or emotionally in that same state.
Yeah.
And we was talking about how somebody who always feels or responds as if they're being attacked, and it's just a regular conversation.
Yeah.
So it's and I was talking about, like, behavior rehearsal, like playing things out in your mind prior to just certain situations, any situation that you think or you feel like could trigger you or would make you, or you feel required to respond negatively. Like, play those situations out in your mind first, and then, like, think of different ways where you could handle it without responding to it or reacting negatively.
Yeah.
And that's like behavior rehearsal. So you're better equipped to dealing with a situation because you already thought about it. Like, I already dealt with this in my mind, so I already know.
Battle, what's up? What you got, man? Come on.
Right, I agree with that.
Bring it to the table, man.
Because 30 years ago, the negative self-talk that took over me, like I negative self-talk took over my mind 30 years ago. It was like I was completely always on that reaction mode. Like, every time
on go time.
I felt like I had to respond. And it wasn't until I sat down and had time to reflect and think, like, yo, negative self-talk overpower what you really want to say or what you really want to think. One thing I learned to do since I came home was I lowered my scale. Before, I had a scale from 1 to 10 on people, right? So 1, I ain't fuck with you. 10, can't do no wrong, right? But, like, there's so much room in between that scale that you allow these things to happen. So now my scale is 1 to 3. It's 1 to 3. So it's easy for me to do my elimination process now. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain people that just never going to be around.
Battle, you could,
no matter what.
You can get different opinions on what's heavy on your mind. Just by, if you're saying it now, don't mean you can't say it later. You gotta remember that, because there's so many different people that's gonna be around, and it'll get you ready for later on too. Remember that. Brief on grief. Yeah, he stopped. But L too, right? No, sometimes you like. Okay.
What you say, Mike?
No, go ahead, finish, Prince. I mean,
no, I'm done. I'm just saying, like, I lowered my scale. Like, I had a scale from 1 to 10, now it's 1 to 3. You know what I'm saying? 1 being, I'll get away from me. 3 being like, no, man, I love you, and I know where you anything you're giving to me, I know where it's coming from. It's coming from a sense of genuineness. It's intentional. You want to help me. You don't want to hurt me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when someone does that, that means that I want them around me. So when there's a 1, you know what? Yeah, I did this recently. I had a very close friend, man. And I say close, I'm talking about close. He was a 3. I got him on my bench when he did something for him. He totally disrespected the whole situation. You know what I'm saying? Eliminated. Removed from around me. Cordial relationship now. Yo, what's up? How you doing? All right, bye.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No more real interaction. Because I gotta get, man, we getting too old to allow people to be able to control us.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's hard to do, but I like what Elle said about, the situation. What you say? Situation. What is it? What did you say? When you practice behavior practices. What is it called?
Behavior rehearsal.
Behavior rehearsal, right? I like that, right? Because sometimes you can still do it. You can still rehearse, but you gotta find different ways. That's what it is. Finding different ways to control your emotion on the situation that happened. But sometimes somebody can say something so crazy that all the rehearsing goes out the window. How you control that? And I ain't even talking about like physically getting into it with somebody. I'm just speaking on. I'll mute your background real quick. I'm just speaking on if you know, how do you get to the point where you control it? Like you can rehearse all you want, but sometimes you still can't control it. How do you control that? That's not easy, man. It's just not easy.
You can control who you have around you. You can control who you have a conversation with. You can control that. You can leave a conversation just like that. You don't gotta add on to when someone says something to you that you don't like. You don't gotta add on to it. That shuts it down. You gotta know how to shut. Yo, remember we talked about this other day about police don't know how to undraw their weapons?
Yeah.
Yo, you gotta learn how to undraw your weapon. You know what I'm saying? You don't always gotta pull out the defense and start shooting back. Yo, undraw the weapon. You know what I'm saying? And live to exist another day. You don't gotta fight every battle or argue every point. Everybody's gonna have points. Everybody's gonna have opinions. Some people are gonna have strong opinions than others. Some people are gonna disagree with others. We gotta be able to accept that and move on. If we don't, man, then we're gonna have a problem with our lives.
And one thing that you always have to remember, there's only one thing that you have absolute control over, and that's yourself. So now, no matter what the situation is, unless someone puts their hands on you and you feel like your life is in danger, words are just words. Words have power. And no, I'm saying, I'm dead serious. When you look at when you weigh a person's words, no matter how much they hurt, sting, whatever the case may be, you feel like it's disrespectful. When you weigh someone's words against all you have to lose, those words become less significant and easier for you to walk away from.
Yeah.
And so that's what I think the answer that I would give you to that question is knowing what's value, like having your priorities and your values in place. Right. And just like behavior rehearsal, we have to remind ourselves of all the things that we have to lose, all the things that we have to be appreciative of, and that we're gonna be put in situations where that's gonna be tested. But the real test is for us internally to not let your ego and your pride get in the way of and you wind up losing everything because somebody said something, somebody of some real life insignificance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even if it's coming from a person that you value and you know it's hard to be in the midst of something and you could be in an argument with your brother or even your mother and your mother say something that hurts your feelings like I never wanted you. In that moment, in that microsecond, you might be like, damn, and it might hurt. But then when you take a step back and you had time thinking like, yo, she was upset. Even though what she said was hurtful, I know she don't mean
that. Yeah.
Right? Because we all guilty of that. We all say things out of anger that we wish that we could take back, that we wish we never said in the first place. But it all depends if it goes to one, the person, does that person really hold true value in your life? And on the other hand, the things that you value and are you willing to risk your whole life because somebody says something? You have a wife, you have people who depend on you.
Yeah.
And then think about like me, I know I went through this, French, you went through this, people who experience that 10, 20, 15 years down the line, somebody asks you like, yo, was it worth it? And you like, hell no. If I knew then what I knew now, then I would definitely not be here.
100%.
You understand what I'm saying? So,
my brother Tommy is probably the coolest person I ever met in my life. Nice person, never did me wrong. Like everybody loves him. How you doing this morning? And I was away, right? And my mom, I told y'all this story before. My mom said, "Yo, listen, I want to pick up collection for me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's around his birthday, whatever. And this, so I'm gonna take up collection so he gets him some money, so he has some money in his account." And Tommy, who is my best friend, always there for me. I was on a run under another name. He came to see me and everything. Said this to my mother, which pierced my heart and hurt me so bad. And I had to realize what he said. He said to my mother, "We ain't put him in there."
Yeah, now that's tough. That's tough to have to hear. It's a harsh truth.
You know what I'm saying? And it hurt me, but it hurt my things. Have a good day. It hurt my mother more than it hurt me because she was like, damn.
That's your brother.
Mom, so like she was responsible for some of the things that I did. You know what I'm saying? And I kept telling her, like, you wasn't. Like everything I did on my own. And fucking after I heard that shit from Tommy, I actually loved him more because I like, yo, you right. I didn't put me in there, and I need to learn more responsibility and not depend on people on the outside to take care of me while I got children out there, while I got family out there. I got people that need money more than I needed inside because at the end of the day, I'm going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? And it actually gave me a sense of humility and humbled me, hearing that, knowing that I had to go extra hard on my own and be more responsible. And it actually molded me to the man I am today. I'm more responsible, not relying on people. You know, I do rely on people in some extent, but not as much where I need them to feed me. You know what I'm saying? So I understand words do hurt you. They do
words
hurt
are
you,
powerful.
and it's how you respond to them plays a major part in it. Because even today, as grown men, some people will say some shit or do some shit that affects my day, bro.
100%.
To me almost every day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, I'm asking for help. I want to be in control of that. I just can't control how I feel when someone makes me angry when you start the day off. You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's the whole thing. That's the whole premise of what I'm talking about. How do you control that? Like Elle said.
So I don't think you can control your how things make you feel. Right. I think we're talking about two separate things. Prince is talking about how something someone says makes him feel, as opposed to how he reacts to it. Naturally, you know, us as human beings, no one likes to be criticized. Like, especially in a way where now you may respect the criticism, but no one truly loves to be criticized.
Right.
Even though you recognize that criticism is a good thing because it helps you grow, it helps you learn and evolve into a better person, right? But I think that what you just expressed, Prince, and people affecting you emotionally, and your feelings being affected by what someone says, it just shows that you're a human being, and it shows that like you're conscious of it. It's your mind and your body telling you that you are aware of certain things. Your reaction to it is what makes you stronger, what makes you able to, what bothered you, what was said last month may not bother you today because you already went through, you already heard it, you already know, okay, this person said that. It doesn't change who you are. It doesn't change what you do. It doesn't change your spirit. It doesn't change anything about you. It's something said by someone else. And at the end of the day, unless it has the ability to alter your life in some kind of way, you know,
Rolls Royce.
Everybody, you know, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Everybody, you know, and then understanding that it's hard for some people just to be happy and to show love to somebody that, you know.
I agree. I feel like this, right? I feel like me, you, Mike, Steve, Griefer, we're all heart surgeons, right? And when I say we're all heart surgeons, we're able to repair other people's hearts, right? But the hardest thing for a heart surgeon to do is to stop himself from having a heart attack.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So when we come on here and we talk and we give advice to each other, it's always applicable to the person you're talking to, but it's very hard to apply to yourself because in practice, it's super difficult. You know what I'm saying? So what we do is, we relate to each other's pain and we able to get it out and speak to each other.
Type it in so I can get you.
From each other. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day,
type it in Facebook so I can send you a request. So once you get it, you could.
When you're in that moment, that's why you
could upload, download the app for StreamYard, and you can just get right in here and be on the stream.
We're giving ourselves advice if we don't know how to talk to ourselves, so we can talk to other people.
One thing that I didn't say and I will never say is situations like that will never be easy. It may get easier to deal with and to handle. But life is hard. Like, and it's just. I think this is healthy because, like, this is an example of behavior rehearsal, talking about different situations and scenarios, and saying, look, here's how you can deal with that. Here's how I dealt with that. Here is how I saw somebody deal with that. Right, and so that's just it's a part of it. It's not. We don't have.
And nobody's gonna see you typing in.
Yeah. We don't have people who are lawnmowers for our lives to clear the debris and all the obstacles out of our path. We just, as we encounter them, we have to overcome them and learn from all of these different situations and stuff, things like that.
Steve, what's up?
What's up?
What you got, man? How's the court? How's it going, man? What's up?
It's going all right. It's going all right. At least I think it's going all right.
Yeah. Fire dream.
Tomorrow, hopefully, will be probably like the last day. Even though I'm nervous and feeling anxiety and stuff like that, thinking that no matter what, it's going to be over with tomorrow. That's what's, I guess, making me feel better because it's been hanging over my head for 3 years. You know what I mean? Like, been going back and forth with. I've been going back and forth with, court for 3 years now, and it's finally over. So I could finally move on. Because I put my life on hold for this. Like,
hold on. Yo, Steve, it's over?
No, tomorrow might be over.
So would the jury be deliberating?
Breaking up, Ken. What you say?
Yeah, you're breaking up, Steve.
Oh, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Tomorrow's the last witness.
Okay.
Hold on. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so tomorrow's the last witness. They're bringing the witness over from Alaska, right? Which is crazy because they're spending so much money on this. Like, it's just ridiculous. You think it's like some big crime thing that's happening, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the person that actually caused the injuries and the damage, he already pled guilty. He got a repleader, no jail time, So, for them to, like, chase me down over attempted assault.
I sent it.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
So, question: Did you ever think about calling that person who already copped out as your witness? Because if they already
we did, but my lawyer said that they might bring in unexpectedties like his past because he used to be in a gang. From what I hear in the street, he used to be in the gang, and if they bring that in, then it's gonna put in the jury's head, oh, gang, and they're trying to get gang assault. Even though gang assault doesn't mean you're in a gang or association or organization or stuff like that, you know what I mean? But still, to the general public, they don't think that. They think gang, oh, this guy's in a gang? Which gang, So forth and so on. So, there's some unexpectancy. So we don't have any witnesses. I'm not going to testify neither. But the thing is, the case is so weak that I don't think I need to, Yeah. Because all the other witnesses that went up on a stage or went up on a stand, they all got caught lying. They all got, like, for instance, one female, right? One of the female victims, she was talking about how we saw the video. And in the video, there's only one other person hitting the dude, right? Mm-hmm. There's one person hitting the guy. It wasn't me. Right, and it's on camera, right? I'm standing there. I'm not doing anything. The other guy knocked the kid out, punched him in the face a couple of times, right? And my lawyer is like, so after seeing the video, there's only one person hitting him, correct? It's not my client. And she's like, I still think there's 3 or 4 people like hitting him. my lawyer is like,
where?
But you saw the video. Like, we all saw the video, and it's unedited. You agree that it's unedited, right? Like, it's a continuous video, whatever, is original form, whatever? And she's like, yes. And then you still think that there's 4 or 5 people hitting him? And she's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's dumb, yo. Come on, man.
You know what I mean? So it's like, but the main witness also said the same thing, right? That, from that angle, it seems like there's only one person. And then my lawyer's like, it's a clear angle, though. It's direct. There's no obstruction there, whatever, and stuff like that. You can clearly see that one person that knocked you out, And then he's
Steve,
not from
Steve.
Huh?
I want to respond to something you said when you said that you glanced over, because we don't know the outcome of the trial, right? But I know this. Regardless of what happens, let's say, God forbid, you go trials, you lose. Right?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to tell you this. I like the fact that you said that you put your life on them. We're going to start their life over no matter what, win or lose, right? So say if you lose, we're going to help you build your resume up. We're going to put you in positions. We got companies we're trying to start. We got things we want to do. Yo, man, God got a purpose for you. You know what I'm saying? So, like this right here, I understand the anxiety of it. Like, at the end of the day, man, you might have a way better purpose in life than NYPD. You know what I'm saying? So I like the fact that you're thinking like, yo, it's finally over. Because I'm glad it's over too. Because you're not the only one that got anxiety for this. Because we don't want to see you lose. We don't want to see you fucked up. But at the end of the day, they can't do shit to you that they already did.
Yeah, because I was like, if I get convicted of something, what do you think I'll be convicted of? And my lawyer's like, maybe the attempted assault, which is a B misdemeanor.
Attempted assault?
What is that? What does that mean? Like, what's going to be the sentencing for that? He's like, oh, it could go up to like 60 days of jail time, whatever. And I was like, you think I'll get that? And he's like, no. He was like, the main accomplice didn't even get jail time. So, like, you're not going to get jail time. So,
Norris, Sagittarius, Cali, what's up?
Already asked, yo, when is this going to be over?
Can you control your emotions?
So I took that as, like, they keep showing, they even show the video in slow motion and, like, me highlighted. Right? Like, with a spotlight on me. And all you see is me just walking back and forth, while everybody else is, like, fighting. You know what I mean? So it kind of helped me out. It's like, I think the jury's like, yo, why are we here? This is bullshit. Like, it's a bullshit bar fight. The guy touched the girl. He grabbed the girl, and he got beat up.
Yo, I ain't gonna front. If I was you, I would be thinking about bringing, once you beat the case, bringing a defamation of character against lawsuit against the NYPD.
Yeah, I'm definitely bringing
malicious prosecution, all kind of. There are things that you can do to put them on track.
I got the nonprofit ready. Remember, I got the
I need
nonprofit
to
ready
win.
to put in the federal lawsuit.
I need
to sue the NYPD under the Whistleblower Act. Right?
Come on, man. Show
that
some
they
love.
retaliate. This is part of retaliation for it.
Show some love.
I got to fully beat the case though. I got any full exoneration though.
This streaming going right. I gotta get it going right. Yo.
And they said that the judge is not going to hear it if you got a conviction.
Royce, I sent an email to you too.
Thank you.
I know how to write resumes. We're gonna help you build your resume, man. We got these companies that we go just sitting on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we on the Checkin, y'all.
You know what I'm saying? Where you can help.
These guys are always over here now.
Here's the thing: you can make a good living just off of doing speaking engagements and talking about the stuff that's going on in the NYPD, which reflects on a more larger scale national, right?
Yeah,
talk about
that Lieutenant Edwin Raymond. He already invited me when he starts his program talking to like in the schools and the high schools and colleges. He's going to talk about the systematic corruption, and then he wants to bring me up to talk about the traditional corruption. Also, I still got the documentary people, that did a documentary on Netflix before, and they won an award for it. So, they want to do my documentaries. They're just waiting for the case to be over too. Because when they shop it to the networks, the first thing they're going to ask is, what's going on with the pending criminal case, So now when it's over, then they could be like, okay, this is what happened, blah, blah, but we're going to move forward, blah, blah, stuff like that. And they also want to do scripted versions.
Tap those hearts from you, y'all.
The documentary doesn't have...
Tap the screen, man. Let me get some traction in there,
from
please.
the documentary, it's like, I guess it looks like a conflict of interest or it looks bad.
They ain't even show up for the fight anyway.
Version,
I'm right here.
Like the TV show, whatever.
I'm right here.
Let's go. Monetary value, So... Yeah, they're already interested in both.
You got corrupt cops that was fired from the NYPD that's making 10-figure salaries, 7-figure salaries right now. That was fired for doing some foul stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you don't, like those things. I'm not even talking about those. I'm talking about you as a human, that you're gonna be okay.
No, just from the extortion, from collecting money and stuff, the protection money and briberies and stuff. They probably made 7 figures in cash.
Yo, they're making money, man.
$2,000 per place, right? Per place, $2,000, and there's like hundreds of karaoke's in Flushing, you know. And then if they help them get off, like, you know, a special thing, like, oh, one of your boys got arrested and help them get off and stuff like that, or oh, somebody filed a complaint for rape and help them close out the case or whatever for it, they'll get like $10,000 cash for it. I know, because I under my undercover work, we got the guy to get me to close down the competition, right? And close down one of the competitions. And up there at first, they couldn't find any drugs at all. But then the guy that was paying me off, he was like, "Yo, you want me to send my kids up there?" And he, you know, because Chinese gangs work like this. Like, there's one boss, right? We call him Big Brother, right? Like Dai-Lo, right? And then under him, it's like little kids that go out and do the work, right? So he was like, "You want me to send my kids up there and I let them have drugs, and then, like, you know, you go up there and arrest them?" And I'm like, then your kid's gonna get arrested, you know? And he was like, "Oh, okay. So then you want me to just give you the drugs and then you could plant it there?" And I was like, "Okay." Yo, then he gave me drugs in uniform, bro, in public.
What?
I stuck an envelope in my pocket, $2,000 in my pocket. And then I gave it to Internal Affairs. And a week later, all of a sudden, they found drugs there. And they're like, "Oh, no, we didn't use the same drugs." Yeah, really? Bullshit. They found the drugs on the undercover that was there. You know what I mean? So then they closed down the place. I went back to the guy, and the guy gave me 10 G's. Boom, 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 boom. Cash. And then we vouched that to Internal Affairs and stuff like that. So, you know, it was a lot of bullshit, because they lost some of the gift cards that they were supposed to vouch your Internal Affairs.
They lost it?
They lost it. They misplaced them. You know what I mean? Which is bullshit. You know? Whenever I get, like, tape on, like, some captains and some chiefs and whatever and stuff like that, they're like, "Oh, the video wasn't clear.
Yo, Diane Love.
We couldn't hear anything." Dude, you gave me 4 devices. Plus, you were able to bug my phone. You know what I mean? Like, how all the devices fail? You know? It's crazy. It's just crazy. So, you know, that's the thing I'm exposing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we did arrest 2 people, a lieutenant and a detective, but there was so many other people involved. You know? And it's not just here in Flushing. Every precinct has their own thing. Every precinct has their own thing. Like, the 6-0 will have something going on with, you know, people in Korean. You know what I mean? The 6-1 will have something going on with the Russians. You know? The 6-2 will have something going on with the Italians. You know? The freaking people in Astoria will have something going on with the Greeks. You know? People in Brooklyn will have something going on in Brooklyn. You know? So it's like, there's so many things going on. You know? It's just crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot, Steve.
And what's the crazy part is, on top of that, not only they get money, but they're getting recognition for good work, because they're saying, "Oh, community policing, the community loves me. Oh, look, I'm closing cases and stuff like that." Yeah, but you're not properly closing cases, and you're arresting the wrong people for money. You know what I mean?
Corrupt, man.
And IB, Internal Affairs, they know about all this. They know about all of it. They just don't do anything, because if they did a big sweep, it would be a big scandal. And the NYPD would lose so much face and credibility. You know what I mean? And so many cases would end up getting overturned and dropped, because then all these corrupt cops, whatever arrest they've done, is questioned. Because they're corrupt cops. They've been arresting wrong people and stuff for money. You know? So the whole system would just collapse. So that's why they don't want to go after the people they know that, you know, are corrupt. They only go after the people where they feel the feds on, where they're gonna get arrested soon, or it's gonna blow up in their face. Like they're going too wild. All right, we gotta keep this under control. That's what internal affairs is there for. It's damage control. You know?
Yeah, it's all a game.
It's like PR. You know, it's like public relations, like a person that's trying to, make the NYPD look good. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough, Steve. You.
Yeah.
They had you in the whirlwind, man.
Yeah, I mean, after seeing all that, I don't want to be a cop. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to be part of that. Really? It's crazy.
But you don't feel like you could still change things?
You can't. Me as a sergeant? No, you can't. Unless you put me back as like a deputy commissioner of internal affairs or stuff like that, or like you create a new unit for me to go in where I have the power to go in and change shit and start arresting corrupt cops, then it's a different story. But me as a sergeant can't change it. Because look, I tried to change it, and look what happened to me. They fucked me over.
Yeah.
They retaliated against me. You know what I mean? And I couldn't do anything about it, So, it's just crazy.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
It's just crazy.
It's the world we live in, man. That's why you gotta be able to control your emotions.
Yeah.
If you're able to control your emotions, you can get by. You can go further, man. Hey, Mr. September, you got that second slot. What you think about that? Shout out to the Knicks. Got that number 2 spot. Now we gotta see who's gonna be 7. I don't want to play Miami though. I ain't gonna lie.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Wait, what?
It doesn't matter. Like that, Mike. Like, don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh,
Knicks
man.
fan, I get it. It doesn't matter what spot he got. You know that just like I know that. Like, it doesn't matter. Man. It doesn't matter.
So you know what? Just getting the number 2 spot is a lot from where we were. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting in it just to say we made the play. We made the playoffs last year. We got that number 2 spot. So it's all those big mouths that think that we couldn't do nothing. We got Brunson on our side, and we going to work. And guess what? Brunson is like the number 2 scoring for the whole season. L, come on, man, get off that train. Get off that L train. Who you like, L? Who you like? Who your team? Are you even in this?
I don't think he even listens to this.
You know what I'm saying? He's not even in this. Yeah, come on, Mike. All these naysayers, man. I don't want to play Miami though. Mr. September, man, who you want to play? Are you happy about the 2 slot, or we should have got 3 or 4? We should have played 4 and 5. We should have been in that slot. Like, what's going on? I need to know. I might get on later on to talk about the Knicks because I don't know what L just did just now.
Please do that later on.
So that you might have just triggered me. You might have triggered me emotionally just now by saying that.
Listen, walk away.
Can't walk away right now.
Walk away. Like this is like, So I ask you a question.
Yep.
Serious question.
Let's go.
You said that they got the number 2 spot.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
It means that we are shocking the world. Everybody talk bad about the Knicks. That's 1. Number 2, we get home court advantage no matter who we play. We get home court advantage, so that's on our side. So that means a lot. We just got one person that's hurt that gives good numbers, but we are showing that we can do things without him. But I would rather be at full strength. So that's what it's showing for me. And so it's all positives for me.
Okay, so.
And it's showing me that we can win.
Showing you can win what? The championship?
Yeah, we can compete against anybody.
You are a Knicks fan. You are a Knicks fan. That you are.
L, we can compete.
Man. Listen, I wish you the best. I hope that you won't suffer the same thing you have been suffering.
So why you saying y'all, man? Who are you a fan of?
You and all other Knicks fans.
Who are you a fan of, L? Did they break your heart and you left us? Is that what happened?
So I've been LA Lakers fan since I started watching basketball. However, when Brooklyn got a basketball team, I'm from Brooklyn. Listen. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan.
They still a Jersey Nets. They still a Jersey Nets, yo. They just put Brooklyn in front of it.
Name 3 teams. I don't have to.
Yes, you do.
I'm talking about KD.
I know you gotta answer. Yo, Gene, what up?
In the East, I don't have to. No, you want to know why? I don't have to. The Knicks are not coming out of the East, so it doesn't matter. You know that as well as I do. Like, why waste my time with like this prime example, like what we were talking about. People say things that don't mean anything.
Yo,
right?
man.
Like I said, I hope
I'm about to get that Knicks logo and put it right on the background.
I'll probably, one day can enjoy a champion. I'm from New York. I'm from Brooklyn, but
what does that mean?
I would like for the New York Knicks to win a championship.
You would?
I used to be a Knick hater. I used to hate the Knicks. I'm not a Knick hater anymore. But I know that, and you know that. All the Knicks fans know that you're not winning the championship. Not this year. Y'all know that.
I mean, it's a lot of teams. It's only a few teams that really are better. You know what I'm saying? But we can compete against anybody. That's the thing.
Sure, you
before we couldn't.
Michael Jordan, that don't mean you.
No. Before we couldn't compete. Now we can. That's true. That's the bottom line. Prince, you can't say nothing. Y'all triggity trash. Yo, Brief on Grief, what are you doing? Yeah. I watched it. Yo, come on, I watched the playoffs at your house when we were younger. You doing this?
You still like
the 76ers can't beat the Knicks. The Bucks can't beat the Knicks. And the Heat can't beat the Knicks. What are you talking about? Bucks definitely can't. Bucks and Sixers, you can knock them off the list. Bucks and Sixers, they got Doc Rivers on their team. He might as well be on our team.
I want to make a disclaimer. I am not a Knicks fan at all, but I have to agree. At this point in time of the NBA, the Knicks can beat anybody. I have to agree with that.
Hey, yo, Minister, you preaching.
The Knicks could beat anybody?
Yeah.
They can beat anybody. I have to agree.
Listen, that statement is a fact.
It's a fair statement.
However, answer this question. Can the Knicks win a championship this year?
That's what I mean.
That's what he means.
I'm saying that there's a possibility that they can win a championship. You know what I'm saying? However, it's not likely. It's not likely because they're not quick to like go that far because they don't have all the pieces yet.
Right.
But they play hard every night, and every team don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're not going to win the championship. The Dallas Mavericks is going to win a championship.
See, I was with you, man, until you said that. Dallas don't have enough.
They do have enough.
No, they don't.
They do have enough.
Nah, that ain't enough, man. Defensively, they don't have enough.
Knicks, I do not like them, you know what I'm saying? But I got to give them their props, man. They playing hard. This dude's playing MVP basketball. They started out with the premise of playing defense. Beginning of the season, they was a defensive team.
Yo.
Okay.
Now, you know I had to check in. Y'all talking my talk, man. I know y'all can't have sports.
I got my ear, but they can't get
without getting my.
So, Brad, let me tell you something. The brother right here, he heard us talking. And like me, he's a lifelong LA fan. When Lakers? Kobe passed away here. Okay. When and Brad, you know that because I said Kobe. When Kobe passed away, and especially when LeBron came out, I'm no longer. Yeah, see what I'm saying? That's how you connect with a true Lakers fan. The brother just said that the Knicks have hold on.
Can't hear him.
He said the Knicks have a good shot of what? Say it again.
The Knicks have a good shot. Boston, the Eastern Conference Final. They get past Miami. But Philly will win their game. They play the Knicks. Right. I think the Knicks are both. Okay, he's right. He's right. I love New York. I run with the Knicks. He's scrappy, and they don't give up. Don't give up.
Hell, he ain't say nothing you said. He say nothing you said. I'm glad you brought him on.
No. So I don't respect everybody's opinion. He said, but here's the thing. He said the Knicks. He believes that the Knicks can come out the East. What he did not say was that he believed that the Knicks can win a championship.
Oh, and that's cool because if the Knicks come out the East,
hold on, he said let him backtrack. He's coming back. Yeah.
Now, we know the West is tough. Denver's gonna play the first round. Come match against LA or the Pelicans. We're gonna win the game 2. Let's go play Denver, right? And the odds are for Denver, right? But the next year, they so perfect and past Boston, you like to be beat. You ain't like hungry enough, you like to be beat.
Yeah, but
yeah, man, I mess with my man. Shout out to my man. He talking big time talk.
Yeah, now he had a good take. And the Knicks this is all without Julius Randle. They are the hottest team probably in the league right now. Like P said, I heard P say they can beat anybody. They just blew out Boston. All your favorite teams, they done beat everybody this year.
That's right.
Milwaukee, Boston, Philly.
All right, I got to slide out, y'all. I'll hop back on.
Anybody you can name, they done beat them convincingly this year. Jalen Brunson is on a mission. He's on a mission right now. He's the best guard in the East. They say he might be the best player in the East right now, right as of April 2024.
You're right, Rab. And the point is, like if they get through the East, they only got to play Miami or Philly in the first round, which is probably a beatable games, right? They only got to beat one team in the West. They don't got that same problem that they have in the East. They only got to beat the one team in the West. You know what I'm saying? And right now, to me, the best team was the Clippers. But guess who's out? Kawhi Leonard. He's out.
And I know. And remember, I told you that was my dark horse. I said, barring injury, I said I like the Clippers coming out the West if they can stay healthy.
He's out. But that's why I say Dallas, because Dallas played them. Dallas played them now, and I think Dallas going to beat them. You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
Dallas is the best team in the league right now because when I say team, they might have had the best player, or they might have the best player, the MVP. Rainen might get it again, but they had the best team. They bench, they system is just like they like a well-oiled machine, man. And it's hard. It's gonna be hard to beat them, like you said, 4 times. So besides that, everybody else is coming out like kind of inexperienced of the West.
He's been one of the best point guards that might have came out of New York City right now. You know what I'm saying? Giving it to you live on the check-in. You know what I'm saying? Right. Rab, check him out. Google him. Check him out. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Rab, come out. Yo, Rab, come out to Atlanta on a Sunday and play with us because we play the old men play. It was half court.
I gotta come out. I might be coming out there. We gotta definitely talk. I might be coming out there, look at some places. Wifey is on me right now, trying to get me out there to Georgia. So I might be taking you up on your offer sooner than you think.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Year, so.
Rab, call me first, Rab, before you call you.
Nope, don't do it. Don't let him block because he's blocking right now. You know what I'm saying? He's blocking. He don't want us to unite. You know what I'm saying? United front. He don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Knicks all day. I don't care what they say. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan, but I'm a realist.
No, they still the Jersey Nets. They still the Jersey Nets, yo. They not. That's just a name.
No. I've been a Brooklyn Nets fan since 2011. Once they came to Brooklyn.
Still Jersey.
Brooklyn.
Who are they? They bought their way into the league. They didn't really.
That's like saying the Dodgers is still Brooklyn Dodgers. No, they the Los Angeles Dodgers. It's over.
That's not like saying that. That's not like saying that.
That was a good one, Rab.
That's not like saying that.
Way to shut them down.
So it's a new franchise. single day. It's all
What are you, New Jersey Giants fan or New Jersey Jets fan, Mike?
I'm not talking about where they play. I'm not talking about that.
They play Brooklyn Nets.
If you're not talking about where they play, why would you say New Jersey Nets then? That's my point.
Because it don't count.
Oh, my point don't count.
No, with the Nets don't count. The Nets are a bad franchise. Nets are a bad franchise right now. They might as well let's go ahead and let us get homeboy and put the college team back together so we can just go get that chip.
Oh yeah, he definitely want to come. I'm rooting for that though. That's my guy. I like him, but I definitely would love to see that. Man. I love teams like that. OKC. I love that the these young boys playing right now. OKC is another team, man. Watch out for them. Man.
I just think that OKC don't have enough playoff experience yet to get over that hump.
And that's what I said about. That's go to my point. What I said about Denver. Besides Denver, I think that's the only team with experience stuff that can come out the West and beat the Knicks. Everybody else is going to be inexperienced, just like them.
But the Knicks got some. They got a little experience now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's a little different.
They got no playoff experience like that. Come on, Mike. No, they don't.
They was just in the play. It was just in the second round last year. That's experience.
I'm still checking, bro. I'm gonna check out right now. I'm still on the line.
All right, y'all. Prince, look, listen. They got playoff experience. They got playoff experience last year. That's the experience. And they made it to the second round. So guess what? There's nowhere to go but up from now. We go to the second round to the Eastern Conference Finals. And we come out the East. If we come out the East, we win in the chip next year. That's how it goes.
Yo, Mike, if you got a team last year and you got 3 players back on the team this year, does that same team have playoff experience or do the Knicks have playoff experience?
Okay, hold on. I'm going to answer you. All those players have playoff experience. They've been in those situations. So they have experience.
Say that. I don't know. I can't. I'm not a fact checker on that. I don't know if they
Brunson was in the playoffs, right? With Dallas.
In Dallas.
Right?
Yeah.
Your man OG got a ring, right? DiVincenzo got a ring, playoff experience.
Okay.
Right? Homeboy Hart got experience. Right? Everybody on the team got playoff experience.
Where Hart came from?
He came from Lakers and he came from New Orleans. All playoff experience.
No experience in New Orleans.
Yes, he did. They was in the playoffs. What are you talking about?
No experience in New Orleans.
Yo, you wildin'. I'm telling you. New Orleans had made the 8th spot.
I'm excited about the NBA this year. It's gonna be exciting.
All right, brief on grief, yo. What you got, man? Come on, don't even. Now I was sitting in your room watching the game when when Scottie Pippen fouled Hubert Davis. We was in there that day.
Now you know that was probably the only moment that I never wanted you at the house. Because I was, let me see, about maybe a year ago, I was telling my wife about that. I was telling her about you. I said, you remember the gentleman I told you that was at the house when Jordan was retired and they called that foul on Scottie Pippen? I said, this commercial comes on right after that. We are the New York Knicks. I said, he gets up and he starts doing that dance. I said, that was the one time I was like, yo, you should go home.
Yeah, I love that. That's crazy that I remember sitting in that chair right in front of that little TV when that whistle blew, man. I'll never forget that. What's good, brief on grief? Hold on. Before you answer that, I just want to tell Minister Matt that I know a lot of people and I got a lot of experiences, memorable moments that he don't have. I'm trying to share with him and just tell him to stop hating on that. Just stop.
When I was hearing it, I was smiling. I said, "That's dope. I love that. I love the fact that you got those good experiences that people could talk about you later on down the line, how stupid you was. And I love that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I love that. You know what I'm saying? But nah, that's dope though. I got some experiences too, but a lot of my experiences other places, but I definitely like being able to have a flashback of when I was young, watching Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas. You know what I'm saying? Like we Mike, we used to watch them games and shoot right to the park after the game go on. You know what I'm saying?
You went to 140. You didn't go to St. Albans, so that don't count.
St. Albans was too far.
See what I'm saying?
That wasn't Southside. I went to Southside Park. PS 140.
Brief on grief. That park wasn't nobody in that park, but dudes around the corner.
One rim. We had one rim.
Grief on Grief. What you got today, man? What's up?
What you guys discussing? I jumped on when Steve was talking.
Oh, we was
about the situation.
Yeah, that was the. We was talking about how to deal with your emotions, like how to deal with them without getting caught up. How do you get past it without reacting and just getting caught up in your emotions about something?
Well, first of all, it's not an easy thing to do. It's funny because for the last month we've been having a Bible study. I've been with the church on Zoom talking about how to deal with difficult people, and sometimes the reality of it is you just don't deal with them, or you limit the contact that you can have. I was sharing with the people that in Proverbs, I believe in chapter 22, it says, to keep yourself away from people, basically bad-tempered people, because people who can't control their emotions impact your emotions. So, and that's the reason even, sometimes having speaking engagements a few years ago, speaking to some women and men on Rikers Island, the system is set up that way. So you put a bunch of people together who have an issue with controlling their anger and their temper, and the system just waits to see what happens. So, but it's a difficult thing. I think Prince said it, where it's easy to help people sometimes, and then when you got to take your own medicine, it's difficult. What I share with the people in the church, because a lot of times, bro, I try to get away from all of the just all the shouting and stuff. I try to give practical lessons, and the reality of it is sometimes in separating yourself from the people, you got to do some inventory of the people in your life and find out why they cause you the pain, why they cause you to get upset. Because if you can get to that, and a lot of times, I'll tell you something, it's a funny thing. I thought we was going to have the Bible study and people would just be talking about friends and people. I found this out and I told them this, that most of the people that are difficult to deal with are the people that are closest to you and people with your last name. And so these are people that you kind of have to have a relationship with. You don't walk away from a parent. So I would never tell somebody, just stop dealing with your mother. But a lot of times people got to understand their pain of what makes people, or why the emotion is coming to be. So, for example, one lady was talking to me and she said, "Well, I just can't deal with my sister because she gave me the whole thing." And we found out that it's because her sister was unappreciative. Sometimes people control your emotions and have an impact on your emotions because of the pain they cause you. I think it was Prince maybe last week was talking about how he gives people opportunities, and he's saying people turn around, don't take it. A lot of times people that are unappreciative of the things that you give them, that you expect loyalty from, they cause you, man, to go from 0 to 60.
Yeah.
I was saying brief on brief. I was saying that we all and I mentioned you. I said we all heart, right? Mm-hmm. And we able to repair people's hearts, right? But the hardest thing for us to do is to stop us from having our own heart attack in the moment, right?
Yeah.
What I did leave out is, as a surgeon, you can actually prepare yourself not to have a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what it takes to have a healthy heart, right? So when you use that analogy in real life, you know what it takes. So you got to set these boundaries. You gotta have limitations. You got to be able to put people on the scale and say, this is who I'm going to deal with. This is who I'm not going to deal with. Yeah. Because then when those things happen, when Mike was referring to someone say something to you that you don't like, you can almost expect it. You know what I'm saying? You already, as a heart surgeon, you already prepared for it. You already took your vitamins. You already ran 2 miles a day. You already did those things already. You can almost expect it. So then the impact of the heart attack, right? The heart attack is the insult. The impact of the insult doesn't affect you as much as it would as if you wasn't prepared. And that's all I'm saying. We got to learn. We got to be better. We got to take a more proactive approach at preparing for heart attacks. When I'm talking about insults, disrespect, dislike, discomfort, being comfortable being uncomfortable is a hard thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Knowing that life is not comfortable, knowing that like this shit right here is unreal. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't sit in my car for the rest of the day. I gotta get up. I gotta go to work. I gotta think shit through. I gotta think about processes and all that other shit. All that, excuse me, Pastor. All that other stuff. You know
Hold on
what
a second. Hold on.
I'm gonna do better with that too, because Mike got kicked off TikTok. He said because I was cursing, and I wasn't even cursing. All I said was I mentioned the W word, and he kicked him off. He appealed and won. Then he had a whole party after he won the appeal. Yeah, a whole party.
Yo, they tried to take me down. I had to get the appeal, man. Won my appeal, so snacks and candy, honey buns and all that stuff for everybody. We're gonna do that.
Honey buns, right? Honey buns.
Yo, look, I you know what I had to do last year, and this is real. I had to really realize that who was in my life that I had to get away from, and I had to really fall back from a lot of people that I used to talk to like every other day. You know how I was talking about, listening to people's stuff and they draining you and putting all their stuff on you. I had to, let me just fall back. And a lot of people got mad. They were really upset with me. They were really upset. How can you do that? But I got to look out for me. Just like you said, Prince. You got to look out for yourself. You got to get ahead of that heart attack.
I used to meet up when I used to go to Southside. I used to go to Southside 3 times a week, meet up with my man, right? And as soon as we get out the car, he get out his car, boom, close the door. I get out my car, boom, close the door. So when we meet up, we beelining straight to the liquor store.
Yeah.
Like without even like giving each other the heads up, the head nod, it was like automatic. And I didn't even like drinking like that. But I found myself having to be, like in compliance of what our relationship was based on. Catching up with each other 3 times a week, going to the liquor store, drinking, and then arguing for the rest of the night. You know what I'm saying? So I said, yo, what are you doing? Like, this is not what you want to do. This is not, I'm heavy on branding. This is not on brand for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you get into a car accident and you kill somebody on the way home on the southern state, that's not going to fit right with you. You know what I'm saying? So I had to, like, literally, I'm not going out to Queens 3 times a week. I got a bar at my house that's still full that I don't even touch. You know what I'm saying? I might drink a beer watching a game or something like that, but I don't even drink hard liquor like that no more. And I feel so much better being able to set those limitations on myself, and especially letting the person know that, yo, listen, you're not going to control what I consume, how I think, how I react, how I respond, and I had to distance myself from that person. You know what I'm saying? Love them or not.
People will trigger you. People will trigger you, and I had to get away from that. It was time. My anxiety was shooting up high, and I didn't want to have an anxiety attack. That's how bad it has gotten. Letting all these people dump all their problems on me, and just people that want to argue with you, make a point. Like Saturday, so now I could do this. Like Saturday, we was talking about. I was looking at a couples retreat, like couples therapy, and the woman on there, she was more of the issue than the guy, right? Because she had old trauma from being lonely and left alone and being abandoned by her parents, and then just being alone. So she was angry and she would put it all on him. So me and the guy was talking. Everything I said, he was trying to counter it. And I said, yo, hold on. I said, why are you in defense mode on everything I'm saying instead of just trying to understand where I'm coming from so we can just talk and have a better conversation? And when he left, he got mad and said, yo, thanks for trying to trigger me, Mike. And I'm like, he's always so negative. So he's somebody that I can see once every 2 weeks when he gets his haircut. That's it. We can't have no phone conversations because he's kind of a bright guy, but why even kick it with somebody like that that's not going to give you good feedback? They're just going to give you negative feedback. So you got to stay away. You got to stay away from certain people.
It's a lot like Prince is saying it, and that's just biblical. Where the Bible teaches us about being preventative. So when he gave the analogy about the heart attack and the surgeon, the reality of it is negative emotions are contagious. This is what the Bible lets us know. They're contagious. And if you stay around them long enough, people will pull you in. And part of the behavior I tell people, especially to church, is prayer. Your prayer should be preventative. So like you have set a boundary that when I meet this person every 2 weeks, sometimes you got to have a run through, even if it's you, if it's friends. I'm getting ready to be into this room with this female, this male that I really don't want to be. What am I going to do if they get on my nerves? Am I just going to walk away? I'm going to distance myself. I'm going to leave early. You have to have a plan and be proactive, because what I tell people when it comes to God always judges what people do to us, but he also judges how we react to it. And what I'm not going to do is be judged for something that I ain't really do and I'm just reacting to. So it's the reaction we have to be a little preventative and proactive to. So I like his analogy, especially about doing the things before you get there. So, and sometimes it's like that, know your limitations, know your capacity. I can't deal with this person unless I see them once every 2 weeks, and anything more than that is too much for me. So to protect me, I got to stay away from you.
Hey, and to protect them from me blowing my top and getting crazy. Like when you have a limit, it's just not a good place to be in, and it's exhausting to even have to go through all that stuff.
I think for you, Mike, is also acknowledging that you have 30 years experience of being a therapist. You know what I'm saying? Like, just that ability to listen. Like my wife was telling me one time, like, a therapist is someone that can give you their undivided attention for 45 minutes without looking at their phone, without, you know what I'm saying? And when you cutting hair and you listen to someone's problems, and you're actually, sometimes you're absorbing them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're taking them in. You know what I'm saying? And it become part of your makeup. You know what I'm saying? And like the next person that sit down after the person that you just cut, you kind of like, sometimes we giving it to them.
Right. Spills over.
Like you passing them on. So like I said, like, maybe acknowledging the fact that you need a place to unpack 30 years of absorbing people's problems and people's issues and people's trials and tribulations, and not being able to unpack that. Like, you get to a point where you finally start to acknowledge it, but you don't really know how to process it yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't stop cutting, so you didn't stop giving therapy. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of people do go to the barbershop to speak on things that they wouldn't normally speak nowhere else.
100%.
Because therapy is taboo to a lot of people. And calling you my barber is easier than calling you my therapist.
Yep. Yeah, I like that one. You finally said something I like. And congrats to you with cutting your beard really light. You need to keep it light like that. It gives you a younger, smoother look. You gotta deal with all that rat stuff. See how mine is combed and smooth. Grief on grief is smooth. Yours don't get like that. So keep it cut low, and you're doing all right, brother.
I got a question for you, bro. Who you talk to? Like, and I'm asking, do you have a therapist you talk to?
No, y'all.
Now, and he made an excellent point, and I'm gonna tell you why it was a great point. I myself even have a pastor or a therapist I could talk to, because when people unload some of their issues, the problem with it is most people come into your shop, they come into your chair, and they unload everything with you. And they leave, but they left it with you. So now what do you do with it? Because most of the time before you leave, somebody has it. And the reason I point that out is the barber is the therapist that I say is very challenging, because anybody else, any of us, pastors, social workers, even therapists themselves have a therapist. But a barber, you don't really go to somebody because you do your own hair. So you don't even have somebody that you go, you know what, I cut people hair, I'm gonna go sit in somebody's chair. I do that too for myself. So all the responsibility always falls on you. That's why I asked you, like, who you have to talk to sometimes.
But you know what? One of my clients is a bishop. I talk to him. Okay. I talk to him a lot. I left that out. I forgot.
Okay.
Sometimes he gives me good wisdom. A lot of times he does. And I'll talk to him like once a week when he comes get his haircut. He's not only talking about him. I'm talking about me and my issue, and he gives me a lot of clarity. He gives me a lot of clarity that I need to give me a different way of looking at things instead of just being caught up in my thoughts. I always say, don't you get caught up in your thoughts by yourself. You don't have anything else to think about or to counter your thoughts with, or to be collective with. So yeah, I got one or two that I can do that with, but I don't have anybody that I go sit with them for 45 minutes or an hour. I don't have that.
I don't either. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I haven't came to the point where I feel more comfortable doing this.
Okay.
At 8:30 in the morning with us than I do sitting with a therapist. I've done it before and they betrayed me. You know what I'm saying? And I have a hard time of being vulnerable. Like I realize that vulnerability brings value. I do realize that, right? Mm-hmm. But I also realize that vulnerability also brings a sense of discomfort and insecurity as well. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like feeling insecure and I don't like feeling uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'd rather come here and be, because, and I really mean this. I really mean when I speak and I give my truth and I give my feedback and my insight on everything when we laugh and joke or not, that I'm really giving myself therapy. You know what I'm saying? I'm really like internalizing a lot of stuff that I'm giving out because I don't say it to myself when I'm not on the show. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with L. L's giving some self therapy, and I'm noticing it's probably the same thing with Mike too. You know what I'm saying? He's giving himself the therapy that he needs because if you didn't hear when he first asked him that, he said, "From y'all." You know what I'm saying? That was his first response, and it wasn't like it was natural. You know what I'm saying? Like I get it at 8 o'clock in the morning before I go to work. You know what I'm saying? Before I go knock down a wall or whatever case may be. You know what I'm saying? Before I got to go deal with the other KD. You know what I'm saying? And and his other things that he had to deal with the brother, that's dealing with the alcoholism and stuff like that. Because that's a lot. KD is a lot by itself. You know what I'm saying? With the Donald Trump shit and all that stuff that he got going on.
Should have saw him Friday. You should have saw him Friday.
You know what I'm saying? Like KD got he's riding around with a Confederate flag on the back of his truck and all. It is but
blue and white. He got the blue, the black and blue, the black with the blue stripe right on the back of his window.
I will say, yeah, that that's a good thing. You don't need a therapist if you get your therapy here, even if it's you, Prince. That's a good thing. Nothing is worse than trying to open up to somebody, be transparent with somebody you don't trust. So that's never effective because you're gonna always hold stuff back. You need to be able to just let things go, and when you be vulnerable and somebody betrays you, then the trust is gone. So I don't believe you can have a good relationship with anybody in therapy that you don't trust. So once that's gone, it's gone. But and that's why your show, Mike, I know you probably gonna at some point get to doing it twice, even more. That's why it's so effective in the morning, because a lot of times people get their therapy and the day is over. You get people while they're driving to work, while they're up eating breakfast, before their day even starts. That most of us, our whole day is ruined because of how our day starts. Yep. So the power is the fact that some people hear you. I see people walking to work. I see Prince sometimes walking here, getting on the train. People need it then for the rest of the day. Sometimes by the time you get home, half my day is gone already. And I wish I would have had the information earlier from the check-in. But that's why the check-in is powerful in the morning, man.
Yeah, you need that first thing, because if somebody could really destroy your morning, man. It's like you said, Prince. You get the first thing you get up, and somebody in your house and saying some wild stuff to you, and start a little stupid fight, and then you're emotionally drained from all that yelling. If you're a yeller, you know what I'm saying, yelling and just being angry, you know what I'm saying, not being able to control that emotion, it affects the whole day, and you got to be able to control it.
And sometimes, Mike, like I get the notification that y'all on, whatever case that be. And sometimes I pace back and forth, like, nah, I'm not, like, I can't bring the energy right now. I can't bring what I'm going through right now. Then I like, man, let me click on, you know what I'm saying? And then boom, everything that I'm going through gets absorbed into a great conversation, to the energy that's on the show. You know what I'm saying? And it actually changes how I feel. So it's actually helping me, and I appreciate that, man, because sometimes I pace back and forth. Yo, man, I go through so much stuff in my head that, I shouldn't be. I just take on a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I take on a lot of stuff. So I just pace back and forth like, I'm not joining today. I don't want to be a part of it today. Then I like, you know what, man? Like, they said some stuff that I need to be there, and I need to be a part of this. You know what I'm saying? There's something that I have that I need to give, and there's something that they have that I need to get. You know what I mean? So, and I appreciate that, for real.
Hey, man, it's all good. That's what we're here for. I like. See, when I get on, and sometimes I'll say my stuff in the morning in 10 minutes, whatever, before I start having everybody come in. But it's better when more people tap in because we can get a better perspective and we can also see what they have going on and we can dive right into it. Like I got so much information in my head from experiences and talking and just doing different things that I can help somebody. Like we can help them. And so I'll always say collectively we can help each other. That's how it works. The only way the check-in is going to be successful if people tap in. It can't just be me talking. I can talk till I'm blue in the face, but I like when someone else comes in and say, yo, I'm going through this today. All right, yo, let's tap in. And then Prince, you could say, well, I was around this experience one time and this is what happened. Or through my travels, I heard this and this happened. Grief or Grief is going to say, yeah, because it says in the Bible and Proverbs 22, this, and this. And you're like, damn, that does make sense. Oh, sweat. And so we can give them some clarity and let them know that other people are, dealing with the same thing.
Speaking of the Bible, let me tell you something about the Bible. There's a guy in the Bible named Jeremiah, right? And before he was born, he was in his mother's womb, like crying. They call him Jeremiah the weeping prophet because he was picked to be a prophet before he was born. He's like, I don't want to do it. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do it. But God's like, listen, no, I have promise for you. I have a job for you to do. And he became one of the best prophets that ever lived or ever, that was ever professed. So just know that no matter how much crying you do, Mike, you got a job to do. You know what I'm saying? All right, Jeremiah? You got a job to do. So you can weep all you want. You got a job to do. And you got to do it every morning, whether our show, whether Grief show, whether L show, you got a job to do. So you can do all the crying you want. You got a job to do. All right? That's my words.
Grief on Grief. Don't laugh at him and fuel his fire because he really think he's saying something. That ain't right. You know what I'm saying? But I do know that it's therapeutic for everybody. I do know that. That's why I always say don't look at the numbers because you just never know. That numbers on the screen is like a lie, like a falsify. Because so many people are just watching, and it's just like KD's boy. I can't remember his name. He was from Delaware, Delhi, and Delhi said he was having an issue, and then when he tapped in, we would happen to be talking about what he needed to hear. He said right before his meeting, I needed to hear this. Now I know I can go. 100%.
Yo, this is the first time I've been on this show when 3 people said Mike, he is right. Grief on Grief, and 2 other people say I'm right. So I must be saying the right
thing.
Grief
on Grief didn't say he right. He just laughed. Good, knocked him right off. Good.
Well, I will say, he was using Jeremiah. The funny thing about that is he's right. Jeremiah didn't want to, but it's also something that you shared when you said that you have all of this experience, all this stuff. The reason Jeremiah did ultimately go and do what he was called to do is because he said it was like a fire shut up in his bones. Like he just couldn't keep it and could contain it. He know he had to share it. So I do believe you have a purpose. And what's more powerful about Jeremiah is when I think he was saying to Steve, the prophet was told, I knew you before you was in your mother's womb. And if Steve was still on, I would have said to him, despite the things and the decisions we make that maintain us in seasons of our life, that it could have been from the get-go that God's plan was never for you to be a police officer. That was for a season. But God has a greater purpose before you even knew it to get where you are. So, yeah, the minister's been preaching today.
Minister is preaching.
He's been preaching, man.
Yeah.
We got to bring Todd on one day, Mike. We got to bring Todd Furtado. That's my minister. That's my pastor right there, Todd Furtado.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got to bring him on one day, man.
Yeah, you got to tap in, man. The floor is open for everybody, but this is where people mess up. People get caught up in, I don't want to be on this podcast or this stream with somebody that I don't want to blow their thing up or I just don't want to be part of it because of this and that. Like that ain't what this platform is not that. This is for
nobody cares about all that.
That's for famous nobodies. That's nobody famous. That's what it's for. We're all regular people. You know what I'm saying? No matter what you've been through. And that's just how it goes. And it's real honest talk because somebody somewhere is listening and they might need to hear what you have to say. That's just the bottom line. You got something good to say it. That's how it goes.
You might have to play John Legend when we start the show. We're just ordinary people. You know what I'm saying?
Minister, you do the minister show for that, B. We ain't doing it.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
But yo, man, y'all have a great day on purpose, man. Thank you for allowing me to be in this space. I feel much better than I felt when I got up. I got my suit. Tomorrow I'm going to be traveling to Albany. Wednesday, I speak in front of legislative, some senators and some senatormen. They also want to acknowledge me on the floor. That's going to be Wednesday. So, you know, I'm doing the work, man. I'm doing the work. I'm trying to make our community safer, make our community stronger, and I want to be part of the solution instead of being part of the problem.
No doubt. That's good, man. And good thing you cut your beard low. Looks good. Stop trying to be like everybody else with a long beard. You can't do it. You're a butt face. Stay a butt face with a great chin. You're good. All right, brief on grief. What you got, man, on the way out?
I just say, man, you know, especially people always remember that negative emotions are contagious, and always leave your home prayed up and prepared, because every day somebody is sent on assignment to offend you. Every day.
Right. And I'll just say this: be emotionally prepared. You know, it's just tough out here to control these emotions, and people will try to trigger you. So make sure you take a minute before you respond. Take a few deep breaths. If the person's in your life that you know is going to be around and they're worth it, take it easy on them and try not to respond so fast and hard. And if it's somebody that's not going to be around in your life, walk away from them, get out of there, because they're wasted energy. You know what I'm saying? And just keep going.
To the people watching, man, thank you. Thank y'all for coming on every morning and giving us reasons to be, reasons to exist. We appreciate that.
No doubt. Thanks, everybody, for tapping in. Peace and love. We'll see y'all later. Twin in the club, man. We missed you today, but next time we'll see you. It's all good. Y'all have a great day. Peace and love.
Gentlemen.
Later, y'all. Later.